Hey everybody, Sherry here along with Zach and Bubbles, and 3 South Carolina natives would like to talk to you today about what you need to know if you're moving to South Carolina. Now, a lot of people are. Our growth rate has been 1.7% in 2024 and 2025, and people are coming here in droves. It's frankly surprising. I've lived in Columbia my whole life. So has Zach. So has Bubbles. We're a little bit surprised by this. We never thought such a rural state would grow so much. But there are a few things that you need to know. And today I'm going to give you 10 things you need to know about living in South Carolina. You guys ready? All right. Number one is going to top every list that you see about living in South Carolina. Note I'm wearing a t-shirt in mid-March. Our summers are long. They're 7 months long. So it's hot. It's hot here. And the humidity makes it worse. It can easily add 10 to 15 degrees in the peak of summer, which is, by the way, July through September. It is hot here. It is humid. It's hell. The jokes about people asking what to expect when they come on vacation in South Carolina and us saying, have you ever been cremated? Yeah, it's like that. It is crazy hot. And if you're like, well, I've been shoveling snow my whole life, I'm not scared, here's my best Yoda impression. You will be. Yeah, it's hot. And it's hot for a while. So just be aware of that. Number two is forget being an introvert. You think these guys are all over the place? Well, let me tell you something. Around here, if you see somebody more than once, they know you. And they're going to strike up a conversation and some sort of a relationship with you. It's life in the South. It's just how it is. And it's just a way of life down here. It's not abnormal, you know. It's kind of good in a way because people recognize you from the guy at the dump, the woman at the library who thinks I'm that grunge girl that gets all the mystery novels, people at stores you frequent, your Walmart curbside pickup people. That sense of familiarity, it can be comforting. Of course, if you're having an introvert day, you might be better off just staying at home. There are no introverts. Now, the good news is if you have a good attitude, you're going to build a circle really quick, you know, good social circle. The bad news is if you've got a bad attitude, number three is something you might want to take note of, which is that everybody's packing. South Carolina is not an open carry state, but it's pretty darn close. People with a concealed weapons permit can open carry, and that includes a lot more people than you think. Would you think that I had a CWP? You probably walk around here and not think that of most of the people, and I'll tell you, the answer is most likely yes. So before you honk at that person in front of you, be aware there's probably a gun in their console and a gun in their glove box. And I mean, really, if you think about it, there's something else you need to know. Those no trespassing signs that you see in yards, that's for your protection, not theirs, because they probably got a gun in every room of the house. And if somebody trespasses, the big question is which one to get. I mean, who needs a security system when you got 3 big dogs and a gun in every room of the house? And half of them were probably inherited from fathers, grandfathers. I had a grandfather that brought home quite a collection from Germany in World War II. Yeah, so just be aware. But, you know, really be aware of those no trespassing signs. We can back that thing up. But it's not just people, because number 4 is another reason why we have so many guns, and that's critters everywhere. And we're not talking about just everybody's got pets. We're talking about our large circle of life, from mosquitoes to deer. You're going to see a little bit of everything because, let me be the first to tell you, this all used to be trees. Okay, there's been a lot of development. We have really encroached on their territory, and they're pushing back. We'll see deer in the road. You might see deer in your backyard. My brother saw a coyote on his front porch on his security camera a month ago. Yeah, we brought in coyotes to deal with the deer population because the hunters weren't getting it done, and now we've got deer and coyotes. Along with roaches, palmetto bugs, which are just the biggest roaches you've ever seen in your life. And if you have sandy soil, ants, get borax. Those things will get in your house. They will get everywhere, and they are nearly impossible to get rid of. We've got a little bit of everything. You're going to need pest control. And you're going to need to watch out outside, because I've been face to face with a possum before. And raccoons. It happens. There's a little bit of everything around here. And please, whatever you do, don't shoot a snake. Everybody says if you see a snake, just shoot it. Don't. Bullets ricochet. That won't work. Honestly, with a snake, you're better off with blunt force trauma. You need to get something with a sharp handle. I know that requires you to get closer to it than you're comfortable with. I give you a tip from my great-grandmother. Garden hose work really well. That's got the longest handle, and just you can hack that thing up. Driving over it with your car is another acceptable option. And don't even worry about cleaning it up. My husband's over here laughing because this has actually happened. Don't worry about cleaning it up, because a hawk or a vulture will get that thing out of your yard at dusk. Honestly, it will thank you for dinner. So there's critters everywhere. And speaking of wildlife, there's a lot of roadkill too. Why is there a lot of roadkill? Because our driving sucks. We can't drive. And this, I knew this before you guys even started moving here. Let me just be uncomfortably honest with you here. South Carolina's average IQ is 97.8, which is below the national average and makes us the 8th dumbest state in the nation. Nowhere is that more apparent than on the roads. I swear they give out driver's licenses and Cracker Jack boxes here. And you know, it's not just that though, and I shouldn't knock it too bad, because it's not just people with below average IQ operating large motor vehicles, usually while distracted by texting and driving, or yelling at whoever's in the car with them, or yelling at whoever they're on the phone with. We also have a terrible road system that was built for a rural, less populated state and has not been repaired because we can't afford to do it. And let me tell you, driving around, all those people parked in the road. Yes, yesterday when I was going to work, I literally saw a truck parked in the road, and I went on up the road and somebody was coming at me with their passenger side door just flapping open. This was a Friday in South Carolina. Getting around all of that and the potholes that turn our roads into a putt-putt course just requires some skill that we just don't have. So be aware, the driving is awful. And unfortunately, you're going to have to find a way to get around all that chancy driving, tractors, horses, deer in the road, because there's, number 6, there's no public transportation. They say we have a bus system. I've never seen a bus actually working. Columbia actually intentionally tried to basically kill their bus system. They just didn't want it. We don't have public transportation. Again, we were a rural state. If you want to go anywhere, you need wheels, unfortunately. Yeah, we don't handle them well. You know, we've talked about monorails. We're starting to talk about more public transit. They were probably 30 or 40 years away, honestly, from doing that, because we're slow to do everything. I've seen mopeds going up the road, golf carts. I've even seen people driving lawnmowers up to the corner store here because it's 2 miles from where they live. I mean, everything's spread out. That's kind of rectifying itself, but you still need a car because we have terrible roads and no public transportation. Number 7, got allergies? You will. And this ties into why it's so humid here. South Carolina is located in a bowl between the Atlantic Ocean and the Smoky Mountains. So not only does the humidity kind of get trapped down here, but so does everything else that irritates your sinuses, and you're going to start feeling them. Yeah, it's all right there. So just get a bottle of antihistamines, because your sinuses will start acting up, especially in the spring and fall. Yes, fall weeds have pollen too, and that can give you some amazing and magnificent nosebleeds. It happens, yeah. Number 8, And I might be looking at offending a few people here, but I just have to be very honest with you, is that vegans and vegetarians are going to have a hard time finding something to eat around here because we're carnivores. We are carnivores. We like our meat, and we like it a lot. And especially, we like grilling in the summer. We'll throw the burgers on the grill. We'll throw the bratwurst on the grill. We'll throw the hot dogs on the grill. And any time of year, barbecue. And when I say barbecue, I mean pork. I mean pork. We slather those pigs in mustard sauce, ketchup sauce, vinegar sauce. Take your pick. Barbecue is really serious business. You will be called upon to pick a favorite barbecue place around here. Depending on what you like, there's plenty of it to try. You'll probably get hooked pretty quick. It might seem a little weird at first unless you grew up on it like me. I literally had a barbecue restaurant right up the road from my house. We could have walked to it. It's good stuff. Give it a try, honestly, but if you don't eat meat, it might be a little bit difficult around here. Number 9. Amongst all the other things you'll be asked about, you're not from around here. Where are you from? What do you do? Where's your family from? You're also going to be asked where you go to church. And if you don't have an answer to this question, expect to be invited. I go to Mount Tabor Lutheran Church in West Columbia. We are a growing family of faith, and I welcome you to come to services at 8, 9, 15, and 11 every Sunday morning. Come join us, and expect to hear that from everybody you meet down here, because church, you can't throw a rock without hitting a church in South Carolina, and in the retiree community especially, it's still a cornerstone of social life. It really is. So if you're retiring to South Carolina, be prepared for that question anyway. But if you're retiring down here, that's where the social life still happens. So just be prepared for that. Number 10, and the last thing on my list for right now, is update your maps and all your GPS apps, because directions down here are relative. Now, I've got to tell you, this is a little bit of local snobbery, because you just don't have the inherent historical and family background knowledge to know where lightning hit that oak tree on Highway 1 in 1963. You don't know where Old Man Shuppert used to keep his goat pens on Old Rural Road 44 back in the 60s. But if you sit still long enough, somebody's going to tell you about the kerfluffle that happened with his next door neighbors when one of those goats rammed his neighbor's Chevy Impala right after he got it. And why those families have never spoken ever since. Because nobody in the South needs a DNA test. We know what everybody in our family thought about everybody else about 3 or 4 generations back, and we know where they were when it happened. Yeah. And a lot just rests on that historical knowledge. It affects space and time in unique ways in South Carolina, and even development can't wipe away the memory of where that oak tree was that almost caused that awful fire. Yeah. So just update your maps. If you need exact directions or knowledge, just go ahead, or ask a younger person who also probably doesn't know where that oak tree used to be, because it was cut down in 2000 before they were born. So there's a lot more. But some things are best learned the Gen X way. You'll find out when you get here. So I hope that you're all enjoying spring. At least it's spring here in South Carolina. The pollen has been flying for 3 weeks. Bonus tip there for you. Pollen starts in February. Yeah, right around Valentine's Day. So that's all for this time. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend and a great day. Everybody take care, and I will see you in the next episode.